Welcome to another edition of Between Two Kernels. Today's guest is Ian Coldwater, who has that one secret trick that means that containers hate them. Welcome, Ian.
Thank you. Really
Welcome.
Appreciate being here.
So there's a really big debate that happens in kind of like the microservices security community, which is around cube control. So my question for you is it actually about controlling cubes with our minds, or is it about quantum geometry?
It's about military-grade AI quantum encryption with synergy and alignment, and we should double-click on it.
We should indeed. How much funding has that gotten to date?
Approximately 10 million this morning.
Wow, that's amazing. I wonder what the addressable market is for that. It seems like, particularly like if you're quantum ready, like that means you're future-proof, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, very interesting. Hey VCs, you should listen to this. And as you've talked about, the attack surface of Kubernetes is both as an application as well as an API. But what I think is interesting is that the attack surface of the CISO also maps to Kubernetes, really anything new on Hacker News. So my question for you is, why do you think security professionals often feign helplessness in learning about cloud native infrastructure?
Well, I think some people are just afraid about learning anything new because nothing changes in the technology industry. It stays the same all the time. And so if we can just keep doing the same thing all the time, obviously that's worked really well for us to secure all the things so far. So if we just keep doing the same things, then we'll get to keep securing the things and this problem will continue to be solved.
That's true. I mean, it's very important that on the Verizon data breach report that we have the same exact things that are owning us every year, right?
Absolutely.
Consistency is important.
Very much so.
If you never evolve, then like that makes things pretty easy, right?
Yeah, that's why we give the people the same pen test report every year.
It's true. What's interesting though is I see so many people on the floor talking about, the ever evolving like proliferation of threats. So what does that mean in this context?
Well, it means that every year the booths are colored in different colors and they have different lighting. And so you can see that the industry is continuing to evolve with the different looks of the different booths. Sometimes the company names are even different.
Wow.
And as we continue to learn more and do more, then we just get to secure more of all the things because, all plus. And that's how it works.
So it's basically like next generation color schemes is how we're going to fix the industry, right?
Absolutely.
That's excellent. I'm excited about that. So this is an incredibly important topic, and I think it's really revolutionary, like culturally. So when Lil Nas X says in Panini, "Just say to me what you want from me," do you think it's a subtle nod to the benefits of microservices as far as splitting out application tasks into individual services and then communicating via explicitly defined APIs? Do you think he's secretly into container security?
Absolutely. As we can all tell, Old Town Road is in fact about old school monolithic APIs. So when we're going down the Old Town Road, that's the monolith API. But then, sometimes we just got to go somewhere else to the New Town Road, and that's where the microservices come in.
That's fascinating. So is the horse a metaphor for something then?
The horses in the back are all of the things contained in the containers.
That's revolutionary. It's actually, I think, a defining moment in our culture that security is so relevant now.
Truly.
Yeah. So what do you think on the next album? Like what topics do you think he'll cover?
Well, I think next album he's going to be talking about the cultural ideas of DevOps. So maybe he'll have some songs about, communication or relationship building, not being adversarial. And maybe it will sound like a love song, but that won't really be what he means.
So blameless postmortems, look out for that sneakily.
Exactly.
Okay, that's excellent. That's really excellent. Do you think attackers are getting bored of being able to use misconfigurations to attack microservices environments? Do you think they're just sitting there kind of Gordon Ramsay style, waiting to be able to exploit something finally some good frickin' attacks?
Can personally confirm.
Yes, you're bored.
It's not that I'm bored. It's that sometimes after, a whole lot of admin or a whole lot of no RBAC or admission control whatsoever, sometimes it's just really nice to get a little bit of a challenge. Can we have something that isn't just star or allow all? And, it's really nice when you find that. It means that, you get something to do out there.
Do you ever plan on going leaving little breadcrumbs to kind of tell defensive teams, hey, level up your game?
I cannot say that idea has never occurred to me, but I can say I've never done it.
Interesting. So you've also talked a lot in general about Kubernetes misconfigurations. How do you think the industry is misconfigured?
I think the industry is misconfigured because I think the industry assumes that things are going to stay the same and that the people in them are going to stay the same. And as long as nothing changes, that's fine. The problem is that the technology around the industry is changing really quickly and that security people aren't really keeping up. And so I would say that like the kinds of resource quotas that are given to the security industry versus the kind of resource quotas that are given to the clusters of the rest of the industry are clearly, one of them is far more CPU and memory bound than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps if we could make our resource quotas more appropriately allocated, then we could maybe begin to move at some percentage of the speed as everybody else does.
So what you're saying is that infosec is slow.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, one thing when you say that, it seems like a hot VC investment could be just instead of threat intelligence, where you have like an API with like dark web, it's threat intelligence but hacker news, like alerting you to like the latest frameworks that are coming out. Be like, listen, security teams, you need to get ready for this. What do you think?
I think that could work, but I think the one for the new stack would work better.
The new stack, yes, of course. Definitely no paid marketing there either.
Well, honestly, no. But it's like, you know, it's like anything that's cloud native related, because Hacker News is going to give you a steady diet of sexism, nonsense, kind of off-topic people bringing up Richard Stallman for no reason. And at least if you're trying to find new frameworks, you know, maybe try, there's other things like the new stack, but like, you know, try to find something that's going to have a little bit more of a signal noise ratio than Hacker News does.
It's fair, though. I will say that given RSA, like nonsense sounds pretty on brand. Like, I feel like infosec can understand that.
That's
sure.
true. InfoSec understands sexism and signal to noise ratio quite well.
Exactly.
Use signal, you store.
Yes, definitely. So what's the worst container security product pitch that you've seen, either on the vendor floor here or elsewhere?
I met a vendor at DockerCon who told me all about how their product worked, and it was a really exciting next-gen product that provided container security in new ways. And I asked them if they had any plans for how to deal with like side channels in their environments, and they informed me that they didn't have to worry about that because their stuff had an always running daemon on both the cluster and the host with read-write access in between, and that had a pipeline through the open internet. And so nobody had to worry about side channels because everything was just going directly back and forth.
That's amazing. So really what they should be pitching is like, we help you automate your like microservices attacks, right?
Exactly. I mean, it was a perfect attack surface. I was really impressed.
They should really try to like have a rate limited API for attackers. Like, hey, like if you want like an easy way in, like here's obviously you need like the basic packaging and then the premium packaging, you know?
Totally. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Huh.
All right, VCs, if you're listening.
Yeah. Exactly. Attack ops. So privacy ops is big this year. Attack ops next year. RSA. You heard it here first. Then finally, date, marry, and kill, and why. The terms DevSecOps, shift left, and SOC AS, also known as SOC as a service.
Well, I would say you probably want to date you want to date shift left, because shift left probably has pretty good politics, and so they're probably fun to date. You probably want to marry DevSecOps because DevSecOps is good at communication, and that's very important set of skills in a marriage. And you probably want to kill SOC as a service because, like, how many people are they even looking at? Are they really monitoring it that well? If they're doing it as a service for everybody, you could probably kill them pretty easily, to be honest.
What you're saying is that you don't want to completely automate all of the humans away in your SecOps program?
Well, you could.
The AI could be in charge.
Absolutely.
Could have Skynet.
This machine learning, what could go wrong?
Or you can have that company that you said, like, with the bi-directional read-write access, like, they could be in charge of your whole SecOps program.
Maybe they could throw it on the blockchain.
Yeah. What could go wrong? Dark blockchain. That's important.
There you go.
So when are we going to see Kubernetes but blockchain?
Well, I think it's RSA. You know, everybody's having the real hot business meetings. Maybe it will start up right out of here. We'll find out.
Hopefully, if they do create that, their booth will have donations for various therapy programs.
Absolutely. What I really wonder about Kubernetes on the blockchain is if we have solved state enough to have a completely, immutable set of like state records. Wow, we will have really done a lot with state in Kubernetes.
Sure,
in
we
order
can all
to make
go
that
home.
happen.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I mean, I've heard Kubernetes is like flawless, so
Absolutely.
zero deployment issues in enterprise, like it's perfect.
None whatsoever. Totally
Blockchain
easy.
ready, blockchain ready, future proof, quantum ready.
Up and running.
Yes, all of it out of the box. Perfect. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. This has been great.